today, and I'm gonna bring my pressure washer out here, and I've got I got some stuff up there called B52, and it's a liquid that you can spray on, and it kind of dissolves the crud and the rust and the dirt and the oil and everything when you're pressure washing it, and that helps to clean everything up here too. So yeah, I'll be doing all that. That's my plan for today. We've got a car show tomorrow night, and it's funny, we've got a lot of pollen in the air down here, and I've been keeping my cars in here with the doors closed, thinking that by doing that I wouldn't have the cars being coated in pollen. If you look at the ground, you can see all this green stuff. Well, that's pollen. So the other day I walked in here and looked up at the Studebaker, and it's like kind of lime green, even though it's in here with the doors closed. You see that? All of this pollen got on this thing, even though I've been keeping the doors closed on it. So yeah, that's what we have to live with down here. It's that time of year. We have pollen season down here, I guess. So yep, that's what I do. That's what I'm going to do. Very first thing is to get my little pressure washer. And by the way, speaking of pressure washers, this little Ryobi pressure washer is the best one I've ever had. I've had many. Most of them don't last long. Of course, I was in Maine, and in Maine, where you have really below zero freezing weather for half the year, it is pretty hard to keep them from going bad on you for various reasons. That little and I'm living in Georgia now, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. But that little Ryobi just works like a charm. So what I know I need to replace or repair back here is these shocks are no good. These U-joints are bad. While I'm here, I'll check all the fluid in the rear end. I don't see a lot of wet, but a little bit of wet right on the front seal there. There's no mufflers on it. There's no exhaust pipes on it, other than this truck is made in such a way where it's hard to put dual exhaust on it because of that tank that's sitting there in the way. So this truck runs both the exhaust pipes over into one pipe, and then it runs down through here. And when you buy a dual exhaust setup for this, they'll run one pipe back here and then split it off and run two out the back, which seems to me almost like a funky counterfeit way to do it, but that's the way they did it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about exhaust pipes, and I don't know what I'm going to do about the engine. It really depends on how that engine runs, because if that engine runs good, once I get all this fuel line stuff done and get the proper pressure on it, then I'll be happy. And if it doesn't do well, I'm thinking a Chevrolet LS with a 6-speed automatic. So we'll see what we get. And I went ahead and did the pumps, because I'm pretty sure even if I switched it over to an LS, I would still need a high enough pressure fuel pump to make everything work. So yep. And the Parts Geek pump, by the way, everything both the pumps and all that I ordered was like $127 for both. So I love Napa. I love the people at Napa. I love going down there because I always talk to people that's worked there 20 or 30 years and they know their stuff. But you know, that's a big difference. If one pump costs me almost $300 and I can get them all Parts Geek, both of them, for less than half of that. I'm not rich enough to buy the high dollar parts every time, so let's see how that goes. Okay, back to work. Hey buddy, how you doing this morning? You out here exploring everything? Yes, Daddy, I am. I want to know about everything that's happening here, because I'm the watchdog and I have to watch everything. Yeah, I have to check it out. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.